right. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and get started. We're going to get started a couple minutes early. I'm trying to change the screen a little bit so I don't get the reflective items in my eyeballs. But let me go ahead and say hi. So Kinemine is in the stream. Me is in the stream. Thank you very much. Dislogic, how are you doing? Thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys coming in. Thank you very much. So, if you've seen the invite, you'll see that we're going to be talking about the 2026 quarters. Well, I shouldn't say the quarters, the 2026 Coin Act. There's going to be uh, some discussion about that from the things that I've talked about with other people. There's kind of a little bit of a misunderstanding of what all is included. Now I do have, hey, John Shank, thanks for coming in. I do have a little bit of a delay and a lag on my end. I'm going to try and kind of bounce back and forth and see if it's happening on YouTube side. It seems like I have about an 8-second lag on YouTube. So I'm not sure if that's this morning weather, or we had some significant weather last night that kind of passed through and disrupt some things. So it could be. Does Frostbite sound like he's at the ballpark? Are you guys hearing reverberation or echo? Check something else out. I don't have that on. Okay. Let me check one thing though, just to make sure. All right, so hopefully that makes it a little bit better. I don't get anything on my end. Okay, yeah, I just did some background cancellation. I got a fan on and it might be causing some background noise. Anyway, very cool. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. But anyway, on this 2026 Coin Act, hey, Red Silver, what's going on? I've got your package. Hold on, hold on. I put it back in the box. I just got to address it and stamp it. So it's here. So I'll get that for you. Hey, nice spelling. Hey, how are you doing? Thank you for coming in the stream. Good to see you here. So Red Silver, you'll probably get that towards the end of the week. Yeah, no problem. I just felt like it was something that needed to be done. We were working that. He pulled 2 winners. Obviously, I was one, but I'm not worried about myself. I wanted to just try to get all of his stuff working. Uh, good morning. Good morning. Let's see. Yep, don't forget to smash that like if you haven't already done so. We'll give it just a couple more minutes, let a few more people get in here. I did start early. We probably got about 4 or 5 minutes before, but I kind of want to go through just a couple things about kind of some of the stuff that I'm doing. So I have a video that's being dropped Tuesday next week. I'm shifting my video drops from Wednesday. I'm moving them back a day to Tuesdays. I'm doing that because of audience. Wednesdays seem to be a little busy for people. There's not near as much engagement on Wednesdays as there is on Tuesdays. So I'm shifting that video drop to be on Tuesdays. I'm not changing anything within my live streams. It's still going to be Saturday, Sunday, but I am doing my big drop on Tuesday. So you'll start seeing that in. Blistering Barnacles, thank you for coming in. Appreciate you being here. Good morning, Miss Paula. I'll throw that link up here in just a moment. You can come up if you want to. So I'm going to change that up a little bit. Again, I used to drop my videos on Mondays, or excuse me, on Wednesdays. But I'm just wasn't seeing the engagement when I would drop another video on another day. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that in. So you should see that. It's going to be about a coin it's fairly rare. It's hard to find. There's only 5,500 of them or so. If you know what that number is, then you probably know what the coin is. But anyway, um, that should drop on Tuesday at about 5 or 6 o'clock Central. So just FYI, that's going to come out. I've gotten some feedback on some shorts, so I'm going to be doing a mix of three types of things to kind of mess things up and change things up a little bit. Hey, Passion, how are you doing? Thanks for coming in. I'm going to have my teaching ones, like I did with the double die, 1 through 9, then what the roly poly was and what the jolted was. So I'll still be doing those. They'll be paired to music, and they'll be kind of just quick little instructional ones. I'm going to be doing the corny ones, trying to have a little bit more fun, right? Taking little videos and kind of playing with things and picking on the cleaning coins type stuff. And then I'll do one where I'm actually narrating. People said, get back to utilizing your voice. So you'll be seeing like a hodgepodge of different shorts to kind of keep things engaging. I don't mind doing that. It's actually kind of fun to kind of have a mix of things. Dale M. Brown Sugar, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. So if you have one that you like or one variety, you'll still be seeing those, but you'll start seeing a little bit difference in the shorts criteria. And then Saturdays again, I'll do basically my education piece, and then on Sunday we'll do more of the chit chat and stuff like that. For some reason, I cannot get the button to allow me to. It won't copy the link. My computer's not copying. Let me figure out why that is. But anyway, so those are kind of the changes that are going to be happening. You really won't notice much because I'm still going to be the same goofy person that I always have been. Let's see. Why is that not working? There we go. Let me see if that works. Okay, that's not working. Let me see if this works. Hey, Paula, I just sent you an email to your Y account with the link. Let's see if that works. I can't actually click on the invite and share it in here. It's telling me that I'm like I'm not signed in. So check your email, click on that link. We'll see if that comes through. I'm not sure if that's going to work or not, but we'll see. But anyway, so we got 15 people in the chat. Thank you for coming in. AZ Coins, Coin Junkie, thank you for being here. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into this. If Paula comes up, then she can chat with me on this. Hey, Kellen, what's going on? Rumor has it we're melting. Yeah, he just got some ancient in, so it'd be interesting to see how it melts out. Good to see you, Kellen. Coin Junkie, I appreciate you coming in. I really do. All right, so here we go. We got the 2026 Coin Act. All right, so the bill that's here is obviously taken from the mint itself, right? So I didn't create this, and I've got the trademark thing here and make sure that they get their due credit. But I basically want to kind of just talk to you guys about what I'm seeing and correct a couple misnomers that I've noticed in looking at the law. I'm actually going to be reading some of the law to you guys to let you guys know exactly what's going on. At first, when I heard about this, I thought they were doing all of the coins. It's not. There's a select couple that they're going to be doing. The quarter's definitely going to be one of their primary focuses, along with some of the commemorative stuff. So I'm going to share that with you real quick. So this is actually the Coin Act. It says the bill directs the Department of Treasury to mint and issue $25 gold coins, $2.50 silver coins, 25-cent clad coins, and proof silver $2.50 coins in commemorative of the 250th anniversary of the establishment of the United States. Designs on the coin shall be emblematic of the semiquincentennial. There she is.
Good
Miss
morning. I can't
Litecoin.
get my avatar to work.
Okay, no worries. So it is for the semiquincentennial anniversary of the establishment of the United States, celebrating the 250 years. So when looking at this, I thought it was going to be all coins, but it's actually only 4.
No, it's all coins.
Not according to unless they've changed and didn't offer an
Yeah, I'm not
amendment.
sure what website you're looking at, but it's all denominations of circulating coins except the dollar coins.
So I'm actually and I'll share my screen with you. This is actually the congress.gov, looking at bill number 2384, the Semiquincentennial Commemorative Coin Act, done by Senator Tooney Patrick, introduced July 20th, 2021. That was done through the Senate Committee for Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs. There's no amendment. There's 7 co-sponsors. There's one primary committee, which is the banking one, and they're pretty clear about it. Only select coins. Now the mint makes it sound like it's all coins, but according to this bill, there's only 4 that have been approved. Now there are appropriations and amendments that have been put in, but according to the bill, it's only allowing for 4. So
Okay,
if the mint has something else, or if something's been up, maybe this site hasn't been updated.
Yeah, it's all denominations, all circulating coinage except the dollar coinage, and it will be a change to the obverse and the reverse for just 1 year. I'll pull it up. Hang on.
Yeah, please, because again, the bill doesn't state it that way. And so I wanted to get some clarification. Now, one thing that has came out is the mint opened on Friday. They opened the feedback, and I'll kind of talk about what that looks like. I've already done the survey, already submitted my information. I do want to say one thing about this. This is solely for me to say, and that is, you do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
When I talk about how I selected the survey, I'm just telling you what I've done. I am not trying to lead you to answer a certain way. I will ask for one thing, though. If you don't care, don't fill out the survey. Don't mark everything, because actually, if you were going to mark it that way, mark everything as no interest, or that you don't care. Because what I don't want to see happen is, I don't want to see a bunch of people who see something that they definitely don't want, and everybody picks it, and now we get coinage that nobody really likes. So when you take the survey, this is a really good opportunity for us to actually impact what our coinage is going to be, and that's a really cool opportunity. So
okay, so again, I think what you're looking at is for the commemorative type coins that'll be sold by the U.S. Mint.
Okay.
Because I see what that's let's see, proposal. That's HR 4429, seeks recognition of the 250th anniversary with the following. And it's got gold, silver, clad proof quarters, and 5-ounce silver. Proof and they'll be offered in proof and uncirculated versions, but that's not for the circulating coinage.
That one is specifically for the commemorative stuff.
Yeah. For the ones that the US Mint will sell specifically.
Okay, but the circulating coins are going to be something different?
Yeah.
Because I couldn't find
and
anything.
That is Public Law 116-330, the Circulating Coin Redesign Act. That's for the survey. And that's what the survey will do. Hang on. Go ahead and keep talking. I'm looking for the.
Yeah. So when I read that, and this is why
That's for the circulacy.
This is why some of this was confusing, because when
Mhm.
looking at that, it says the implementation of the quarter dollars must keep George Washington as the prominent on the obverse. The reverses are what's going to change. General designs, in general, all designs under this subsection will be designed by the secretary. The averse of the design in the quarter dollar shall remain the likeness of George Washington, and by design in that manner will be incused inscriptions to distinguish it from the averse design in the previous quarter program, meaning that they're going to change it slightly. But it's still going to be the likeness of George Washington. So that confused me, because it's like, well, hold on. I thought they were saying that both the reverse and the obverse were changing, but that bill doesn't speak that language. So there's a little bit of confusion on my end of where it actually shows in that bill that it is both.
Okay, here is in 2026, U.S. Mint will commemorate the 250th anniversary of our nation's founding with redesigned circulating coins as part of the Semiquincentennial coin program. The Mint will redesign both the obverse and the reverse sides of each circulating coin, including up to 5 different quarter designs. As authorized by Public Law 116330. The Circulating Collectible Coin Redesign Act.
Yeah, see, I'm saying the same language, but when I read down, it states that the quarter dollars will remain the George Washington likeness.
Yeah,
so
this doesn't say that. This just says that.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if there's a revision. What is your the public law 116330?
116-330.
Yeah, what is the date on that? Is it January 13th, 2021?
This article, this
HR 1923.
and they're doing the survey through October 2023 to help decide the coin designs. So this does not have. Oh wait, September content last updated September 8th, 2023.
Okay. Yeah, because the public law that you just stated, I actually have it here. Hold on just a minute. I actually have it up, and I don't know if there's a revised version of this law, or if there is one of these things where the mint, because when looking at the update in the legislative branch on Congress.gov, when you're looking at that health resolution, it states that there are amendments, but the 117th Congress that occurred processed no amendments or updates and haven't done so since it was originally read through back on January 20th of 2021.
Yeah, this was just updated on, and it's through the Mint's website.
Then I'm wondering if that information hasn't yet. Either it's not approved through Congress yet. They've done like the appropriation, but they haven't passed the actual bill yet, which would be why it doesn't show up in this, because this doesn't show up until they've taken action. So there's again, it's just a discrepancy between Congress Gov site and the Mint. The two don't communicate the same.
Yeah, it looks like that legislation, the proposal was introduced, I think it says July of 2021 for the commemoratives.
That was July 2021.
25, a silver 2.5, a copper nickel clad quarter, and proof 5-ounce silver.
Let me search. And that was 133. No, it was.
No, that's the one you're reading.
No, what's the other one? I just lost.
Oh, that was
116-330.
Yeah, 116-330-330. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, I'm
Oops,
trying to
sorry,
look
the
and
zoo's waking
see.
up around here.
No worries. Yeah, no worries whatsoever.
Sorry about that.
Um,
Yeah, and as far as I mean, this has been talked about for a couple years now, and as
oh
far as
yeah, I
I
know, but
knew, nothing had been changed
I was
for the
confused because
circulating coinage.
I was confused because the language in the bill doesn't speak that way. And so I wanted to get some clarification on that.
Yeah, and I think that bill um, was for the yeah, it says right there the commemoratives. I mean, it doesn't say on there, but for the gold coin, the silver coin, the clad, and the 5-ounce silver. Those will be specifically sold by the U.S. Mint. That's not circulating coins. I don't think anything's changed for their plan for the circulating coin. So, not that I've read, not that I've heard.
Well, cool. Yeah, see me, you can't enter that command. It doesn't help. It only works if I enter it.
Winner.
I still haven't done that yet. I still need to do the hashtag me wins.
Me, you're always a winner in my mind.
But I'll spell it wiener.
Yeah, so I'll try to look more into that. We got football today, but I'll try to look more into that. My grandson's got his first football game.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, so not going to church today. Gonna go to football instead. I'll pray about it. Anyway, so yeah, I think that's for the commemorative coins up there, but
Yeah, so this is again, this is talking about the stuff that we pulled across. The issued coins between January 26th and December 31st, 2026. It's only for the one. And if you, of course, just like anything that you buy from the mint, it's going to have a surcharge as required because the mint can't produce something that they lose money on.
yeah,
They have to make money on
$35
it.
or something like that, right?
Yeah, they have to be profitable
Yeah.
to uncover packaging and all those other items. Shipping is not included because it's secondary to the production of the coin. But they have to cover all production costs and be profitable by it's like 15% or something like that. There's a dollar amount that goes with it, but so it'll just be like what we normally see. These were the people who are the key players. So if you live in these areas and you have a specific design you want, these were the players that were on that particular bill. If that's something that you're interested in seeing, again, this is kind of a little bit of a deviation from what I normally do, but we really do have the opportunity to get some cool stuff on here. I
Yes.
wanted to share that. But here's the screen I really want to get to. Now, again, I got a disclaimer, okay? I'm showing you what I took interest in. And being numismatic, and Paula, we had this conversation last Sunday about it would be really cool to see some of the older designs come up. I am not telling anybody that that's the way they need to go in and take the survey. I am stating that if there's just something that you want to do, or you want to target some of the older designs, this is where you need to look. So I want to be very clear about my intent. Okay. I am not trying to force people to answer this survey in a certain way. Just want to make that disclaimer. So all of the items that are on the screen are the items within the survey. So they talk about struggle and progress, two sides of the same coin. So you'll look at what the issue was, and then you flip it over, and it's like, what was the resolution? There's things about democracy. So, kind of where did they come from? What is it about democracy? The Bill of Rights, the Constitution, and they get into more deeper stuff as you get down. There's like expansion on those major areas. Depictions of historic figures. We see a lot of that as well. But these are historic figures that had roles in doing this. This is not historical figures like we would see the flowing hair. Those are depictions of liberty, which as I have in the highlight. So they are a little bit different. Each one of those surveys, they go through. I tried to take the survey again to see if I could pull it up because I wanted to go through it. What I should have done is not saved it. but I didn't actually want you guys to see my answers because I don't want to influence what you put in there. They talk about change, Declaration of Independence, Constitution, Bill of Rights. Then they talk about civil rights items, women's suffrage, abolition of slavery, the Act of 1964, Amendment 13, Amendment 19, um, celebration of things like Juneteenth and things like that. Freedoms Protection Act, First Amendment, Second Amendment, founding principles, ideology, Declaration of Independence. Now, the closed reading of the Declaration of Independence, which is just the one right above depictions of liberty, it's going to say like, um, "We the people," right? Kind of like what you see on the commemorative coin. Um, so they'll take snippets of those headlines within the Declaration, and then that will be like they'll do that as the title, or that'll be the tagline, and then they'll have some verbiage underneath. So these are kind of like the key elements within the Declaration of Independence, or the key elements within the Bill of Rights. And that's kind of what they were talking about in that particular section. Depictions of liberty, I got a little bit more on that. That's why it's highlighted. This is the one that I basically focused on. Now, in each one of these, you have the option that you're not interested, or you're highly interested, or in the middle is neutral. So you basically choose one of the 5 boxes, you go back and forth. The link is up here. So I click on the link, it'll take me to there. I'm not going to do that because um, I've already taken the survey and it's going to tell me you can't take it again. But the link is right here. If you want to screen capture that and enter the information in, when I finish doing this, I'll make sure it's in. Actually, you know what I can do? I can do this. Hold on. Da, 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 da. I am going to just cheat. Okay. Doo, doo, doo. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and just do this. Excuse me for tabbing through here. All right. So here is the link. I'm going to go ahead and put that into chat. If you're on your computer, you can go ahead and click on that. It'll take you to a new link. If you're on your phone, just scroll back to it a little bit later. I'm actually going to pin this, so you'll be able to look at this a little bit after the fact. But that is the survey. So if you want to go in and do that, that's the link you're going to click on. It'll take you through all of this information. So I'm going to go through depictions of liberty here in just a minute and kind of talk to you about kind of what they're talking about in that facet. There is more than just one uh, discussion that they're having within that particular thing. So, but anyway, they talk about where we're going, civic engagement, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, different philosophies that are the beliefs of our founding of our nation. Um, this was a little bit of a wider topic. They talk from old policies to new policies. Um, I I don't really understand exactly what that category is. I don't know how close their policies are going to be or what that's going to entail. So I can't really elaborate more on that. But then the last one is 2 boxes for your own recommendation, and that is if you have something specific you want to add, like I really like these options, but I would really like you guys to focus on um, more follow through numismatics.
Sorry,
One
sorry,
thing
it's getting crazy around here.
that's okay, no
Can
worries.
I just throw something in real quick?
Yeah, please.
So, I'm sure people already know my vote for at least the obverse depictions of liberty. Come on now. I just want everybody to keep in mind what the semiquincentennial is, right? And when these things happened, the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, Declaration of Independence. Let's think about that. Because Matt and Mike, the Coin Show podcast, had a good point last night. Constitution, Bill of Rights came after, right? Declaration of Independence was actually in 1776. So, anyway, I just want to throw that out there.
No,
Constitution.
again, understand this is one thing, and this is why I said at the very beginning, right? If you're uncertain,
Ask me.
well,
I'm just kidding.
there will
Use
be
my
no
opinion.
opinion given
No.
by Paula.
No, no
That is
opinion.
wrong. No. Um, Paula gives her opinion about everything.
Always.
Uh, that's why I love her though. She wears her emotions on her
Oh
sleeve.
my gosh, I'm sorry.
But I can also challenge you.
You
Um,
can,
and
and I like
you know,
that.
yeah, because this is where it's okay to agree to disagree on things, right?
That's right. I want
You
to
just
be
need to learn how to do
challenged.
that. But one thing that I want to be very clear about, in kind of retrospect to what she just stated, is that when they talk about the historical documentation, they're not talking about tweaking it for the amendments, right? They're talking about putting in what the declaration was. Now, where I'm concerned or where I don't know the details on is where they talk about philosophies that inspired the founding of our nation. I don't know to what extent that goes. Because there were a lot of things that are they talking about freedom of religion? Are they talking about freedom of speech? What are we talking about? That I don't know. There wasn't a really good description in this particular section. I think I have a fairly good concept of what they're asking for, but there's still some variability in that particular one. So if you don't understand when you're taking the survey, and please take the survey, right? Um, because we actually have a voice in this, and I would like to see some really cool things on our coinage, right? It would be nice. Not that I don't like George Washington, not that I don't like, um, you know, the Rosie. Not that I don't like Lincoln. I would really like to see some classic designs. And one of the arguments that both Paul and I agree with is that it would be really good from a numismatic standpoint to have the younger generation see some of these older coins and really begin to understand what they look like, really begin to understand the culture of the time, the information that's there. Now, do I think something like the flowing hair or the capped bust will come out? Flowing hair, maybe cat bust, probably not. I don't foresee that coming out. I see there too many people resisting over that. But there could be the opportunity for things like the flying eagle sense or the Indian head sense, Native American sense, right? What are they going to call these things? Um, so there's some question about some of these items, but I just kind of wanted to walk you through um, basically what the survey looked like. Now, when they talked about the classic designs, there were four areas. Okay, now again, this is what I chose. I'm not asking you guys to do this. I'm just letting you know what I selected because I want the historical numismatic component. I would like the designs that are on the screen to come back, right? I would like to see the flowing hair. I would like to see the Liberty Princess. I would like to see the old Indian head. I would like to see the peace dollar. I would like to see the seated Liberty, right? Now, people say, why is Morgan not there? Well, the Morgan dollar could be there. I'm just telling you the ones that I would like to see. So if I was able to choose from these are the five designs that I personally would recommend in an opportunity. Now, when you take the survey, the very last section has two boxes in it. And the two boxes are tell us a little bit more about whatever. And then if you have any ideas that are not included on here, what would they be? And I actually, by name, named each one of these and the designers. So one of my recommendations to the Mint was to have an image of the designer on the obverse and the image of one of the coins that they designed, the Liberty that they designed on the reverse, because they were the ones that were the designers, the implementers. They were the ones that did that. They were key elements in our numismatic life. They were the ones that taught us what liberty was. Christian Gobrecht. When we're looking at this, when we look at um, Saint Augustus Saint Gaudens, when we look at liberty that way, when we look at Adolf Weinman, and having those portraits done, and then on the reverse side having that representation of leadership or representation of Lady Liberty that they created on the obverse. So that was the recommendation that I actually put into um, those last two boxes on that survey. So you do have the opportunity to go down the subscription list of what they have there. They got some really cool things in here. I do like some of the ways that they've gone with it. Some of it, again, very geopolitical, modern times type stuff. But they do have the old classic designs and old representations of liberty. And then they have the modern representation of liberty and the modern concepts. So I stayed away from the modern. I went with the old designs. You do have the opportunity to do those. I selected highly recommend and then neutral on the other ones. Um, but anyway, just to kind of let you know where I sit again, I am not recommending that you guys do something specific. I don't want to influence. I do want to influence. Let me take that back. I do want to influence because I want people to understand that there's a lot of opportunity within the numismatic realm to bring back some of our history. As a nation, we are losing a lot of history. We are losing culture. We are in a world where people don't tend to agree. They feel justified about everything that says and done. Everybody's right all the time, meaning that nobody's right any of the time. Uh, I would like to see some of the old classic representations when we as a nation fought for freedom, when we fought for the betterment of men and women, when we fought for um, those kind of things. So if you're going to do things like civil liberties and you're going to do desegregation and you're going to do things like that, show those type items and show women's suffrage, show those items. I don't mind any of that being on the coin. I want to see personally, we have a lot of that stuff in the coinage already. We don't see outside of the what's the word I'm looking for? The silver bullion, right? You know, sunshine mint and things like that. Outside of those things, we don't see these designs on coinage. And so personally, I would like to see some of those. But you guys do you, right? You guys do what you want to do. You guys do whatever. I just wanted to give you kind of an overview of what that looks like. And again, make your own decisions. Take it seriously, right? Don't make stupid choices just because you want to throw a wrench in the cog. Don't do that, right? I don't want to get coins that are like all the other ones we get.
Yeah,
Crap.
these coins are going to be important too.
Okay.
You know,
This
they're going
is
to be
our
important.
200th year celebrating freedom, right? So remember what the purpose of this is.
First
And
time in a long time we've seen a different obverse on coins too.
yeah,
And
and if you,
hopefully that sticks. I really hope that sticks.
yeah, and see, again,
And I have not seen, like I just said, that mint thing was just updated the 8th. So I haven't seen any other opposition to that.
well, what I'm hoping is going on is that um, because the Coin Act is there, right? Because if you actually
Right.
read the actual Coin Act, then they talk about the the obverse of Washington, the adverse of Roosevelt, the adverse of those things. They don't talk about the adverse of the cent. They don't talk about the adverse of the dime. They don't talk about the adverse of the nickel. The only one that states it must remain the same as the quarter. The quarter dollar must remain in the likeness of George Washington. That is the only one that states that. None of the other coins do. Um, the half dollar doesn't say anything about Kennedy. It doesn't say anything about the Sacagawea. It doesn't say anything about anything like that. Now, the dollar coin, I believe the dollar coin was one that was off the table.
Yeah, it's off the table.
Yeah. And I
I mean,
think
they're
that's
going to
something
do something
recently.
special, but it's not going to be, yeah, they're
It'll
going
be
to
in
do
the
something.
commemorative realm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's why the commemorative line. So again, um, there was a little bit confusion on my end still, but it could be one of those things because remember, when you're passing resolutions and you're passing updates, the update may not get put into congress.gov um, or the legislative search results until action has been taken.
Yeah.
Now they can have communication and go back and forth, say, yes, we agree to that. Go ahead and put that in. We can do that. But that site doesn't actually get updated until some sort of action. An amendment has been put in. They've actually, so all it states on that particular site is that it's been read twice and approved. That's all it states for that particular act. Now, the one that was done July 3rd of 2020, I think, which is the original one for the Coin Act. No, not 2020. This was a long time ago. This was like 2017 or something like that. When was the original one? National Defense Authorization Fiscal. Oh, I have to read that one for work.
I really would love to see the classic, something classic come back on the obverse. I don't agree with having a person's that would not be my first choice. It's not that I don't agree. It would not be my first choice to have another person on the reverse. I think we've seen people on coins too much. I'd like something about like the Declaration of Independence or, things that we hold dear in this country on the reverse. But that's just my opinion. You guys have your own.
No, but that's exactly, and
But
that's why
definitely
I've been very
vote.
clear.
Yeah.
I am not trying to lead you to a certain answer.
No, right.
I want you to
I am.
understand. Well, but as influencers, right? It's our job to let people know.
To influence.
Well, I don't care what you say. You guys is like Q&A are influencers.
Oh, come on. Sean is. One of us is.
You guys is a panel. Now, I'm going to say something. How many people is Amanda in here? Is she
Probably.
lurking by
She's probably
chance?
lurking.
She's always lurking.
She's
I love
a lurker.
Amanda. I won't say it on stream.
I'm with you though. I just want people to get on there and do the survey. These are going to be special. It's going to be a special year and special coins, and yeah, get on there and make your voice heard. That's what it's all about. Make your voice heard.
Yeah, but I just want people to understand. No, number one, the survey dropped Friday.
Mm-hmm.
It's live. So if you haven't taken the survey, go to the pin that is up there in chat. And if you're on your phone, just wait for the stream to be over with.
There she is.
It'll be there. Hey, Amanda. Why would you think I'm lurking? Because you're always lurking.
Always lurking.
Have you, Monsters University?
She's like Beetlejuice.
Inc.? Well, Monsters University?
Yes.
Or have you seen
Monsters Inc. or whatever? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I sound like their boss, that little
right?
lady.
Always
Come on, Scully.
watching.
Come on, Scully, get to work.
That's Amanda. Always watching.
Always watching. Stop it,
Hey,
Ray.
Ringmaster Ray. I just saw your name in
Ray.
here. Thanks for being here. Hey, Brown Sugar. Thanks for coming in.
You naughty boy,
But
Ray.
you guys are very clear about what it is within numismatics. I know what you guys like. We've talked about the Liberty designs. We've talked about different coins. Every time you guys talk about certain designers, you guys have certain designers. We like what we like.
Yep.
Right. But I think when you look at design elements and you look at what can be on our coinage, what's going to be represented of our 250th year,
Mm-hmm.
right? Take it seriously. I mean, take a minute to think about what would you like other people to look at. So you got other nations going to be looking at our coinage, right?
Yep.
You want them to go, bunch of pansy asses. Look at this. Look what they got. They got rainbows and tutus. Sorry, I don't want that on my coinage.
The Mint has the chance to knock this out of the park.
They do.
They have the chance. Will they take it? I don't know.
So, Amanda, who is, and I think I know the answer to this, who is your favorite coin designer? It's one of two, and I think I know one because I think her and I have the same one. The U.S. coin designer, because you're into foreign, so you have different designers that you like. But And she's like, "Do I have to just pick one?"
I know. That's a tough one. It is.
See, mine is easy, right? And
Yeah.
I can give you top three easy. You know who my number one is?
Go Brecht.
Gobrecht, right? Anybody who watches my channel knows Christian Gobrecht. That seated Liberty design. Of course, I put it in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, right? I just love that design. Now, they could do a little bit of facial reconstruction on her, make her a little prettier, but I love the design. It's just a really good design. I also like um, Frostbite. I'll send all four in silver my way. Yeah, we'll melt it. Um, but when you look at like the old Indian head or the princess head, now one of my favorite gold designs is the Indian princess, right? That princess coin. I love that design. And there's three types, right? I prefer type 2 with a little bit smaller crown, more tilted towards the back. But we like what we like. I think one of the best designs of the Native American is the Indian that we see here, the Sioux Chief, right? I think they just we have the opportunity to have some really good looking coinage, and
We do.
I hate to say this, but we really haven't for a long time.
Long time.
We just haven't had. There have been some cool designs. Now, one of my favorite reverses was San Antonio. That was a good looking design. The Kaneohe Park, right? The volcano park in Hawaii. Good design. There were some
Then
of
we've
them.
got effigy mounds, our animal crackers quarter. Come on.
Well,
There
yeah,
were
but I
some
mean,
really bad ones too.
yeah, I mean, we do, but there have been some that are really nice. Now, I
Yeah.
will say that the newest quarter, and I can't remember her name. It's the one where the field is basically wide open and she has all the words on her
Oh,
jacket.
Vida Dar.
Vidya Dar. Even though the words are kind of difficult to read, I really like the
I
simplistic
like
design
that
of that.
guy.
It's simplistic. It's
I like
clean.
it.
It looks good. Do you like it?
I do. I really like it, and I knew I would when they first came out with showed the designs. I think people are they either love it or they hate it.
Well, but I
So
like its very simplistic design. If you
mhm.
look at now, Christian Gobrecht had a little bit more uh, kind of detail in some of his stuff. A lot of the fabric was more wavy and things of that nature. Um, but a lot of the old designs were classic, clean, sharp, artistic details.
Yeah,
They were they were master craftsmen, right? Not to say that the mint designers now aren't masters in their art, but these were actual sculptors. They were master craftsmen. They
yes,
understood what would happen when you put this on an image. What would the representation be?
hmm
And we have sculptors in the mint, but they're not the ones that are building the designs. They're the one executing the designs. And so I miss the old world
yeah.
coinage. It's
There
good.
use
It's
a lot of
good
computers
solid.
used now, and
Now
yeah,
you can do some really cool things with technology.
yeah,
Okay, there's some really cool stuff that you can do. Um, just take what Canada's done with some of their recent coinage. They have some really, really, really cool coinage.
yeah. They do.
Um, and so, technology can be a boon. It can help, but you can't have technology at the expense of artistic understanding, of sculpting, of actually framing. Understanding the old uh, big plates, right? Yeah, they had to do the big plate, and then they'd have to
Yeah, the
run it.
Galvanos.
Yeah, and the technology that they had to create to get this to happen, and then the attention to detail and how these things started to work, and all of that just was fascinating to me. Um, now we get really good strikes and we get that kind of stuff. But even then, it's just the designs just aren't they just don't do it for me. So, but anyway, I just wanted to kind of walk through this with you all, let you guys see kind of what had happened. Again, I'm just going to leave that here because, again, this is what I would recommend. Not that you guys have to do that. Second Chance Stacks, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you stopping in. Let's see, who did I miss? Said hi to Nina. Said hi to Second Chance. Said hi to AZ Coins. Chris G.
Adolf
Thank
Wyman.
you for coming in. Huh?
Amanda picked Adolf Wyman. Adolf
See
Wyman.
now,
Yeah.
what now? I like Weinman,
Hmm.
and one of my favorite designs, obviously, is the Merc dime. Right? Um,
Yeah.
Utilized his friend, a publisher's wife, as the likeness, and the Merc dime is just absolutely gorgeous. I would love to see a new Mercury dime.
Right.
I think that'd be fascinating.
Hmm.
I would love to see a Flying Eagle cent. Right? I would love to see the seated Liberty quarter. I would love to
I want to
see.
see a seated Liberty nickel. The nickel's going to be a tricky one.
But you know what would be funny? Oh, no, I don't. I take that back. Funny is a terrible word for this. And anybody who knows me, well, yeah.
Just get
Anyway,
Jefferson off of there. Come on.
I would like mix it up. Okay, like really mix it up. Do a Mercury quarter
Yeah.
and a Flying Eagle nickel.
Something.
You know what I mean?
I know. Something.
Just do something that, like, what
Classic.
is the what? So let's say that a lot of people go to the classic designs, and you get a lot of people saying, "Well, we want to do the Indian head, right? You want to do the coin that's there in the middle, or we wanted to do the seated Liberty." Cool. Well, what about if you did the old Indian head cent, like the Buffalo Indian, but you utilized this Indian,
Hmm.
right? Um, you could play on classic coins with different designs, but still have the same basic coin. There's some really cool opportunities for really fun, creative coinage.
It is, and imagine the dialogue it would open up, especially for younger collectors, or younger kids that have like they've never seen anything like that. The dialogue it would open up would be amazing.
You know how cool it would be. Now, I mean, I know they're not touching the dollar coins and they're going to do the commemorative. And I'll be buying some of the commemoratives because I'm sure they'll probably do something like the military. They've talked about potentially doing some of that. They've talked about doing. Um, I would expect that when you look at the defining items within history. So if we go back to this list here, if you look at historic change, Declaration of Independence, Bill of Rights, that kind of stuff, I'm assuming a lot of those type of items are going to continue to show up in commemoratives. I would expect a good fair number of these to actually go through the commemorative block. And whatever doesn't make it to the circulating coinage will get sent into the commemorative realm.
Yeah.
So I would like to see that. So even if they did a couple commemoratives of maybe the seated dollars or the and where it's actually like an attainable piece, don't you're going to put the gold Indian back on the gold dollar. That's cool, but make it attainable for everybody. Make sure it's in a 10th ounce. You know what I mean? Make it in the half ounce, make it in the quarter ounce. Do the entire set. Or if you're going to change that up a little bit, do one of the different depictions over the last 100 years, 200 years. But I would like to see something different. I really would like to see the mix match. And that's why, even though you don't want to see person on the front, I think it would be a really cool thing to have the designers like have Adolf Weinman and then have his effigy of liberty on the reverse. Have Christian Gobrecht and then have his effigy of liberty, seat of liberty on the reverse. Have Augustus St. Gaudens and have his effigy of liberty on the reverse. And I know you're tired of seeing people.
I am.
But again, it's just, this is where individuals will differ in that.
I know.
Now,
I'm
it would
not
be
sure how
cool.
well their portraits would translate onto a coin, too. Some of them, anyway, they were not particularly handsome people.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
But
Lincoln
no,
wasn't a handsome man.
I think Lincoln was extraordinarily handsome. I think he was.
When was the last time you went and got your eye checked done?
I know. I don't have the best taste in men either. That's why I'm single.
This is not a discussion for this particular.
Sorry. Go off the rails here.
No, it's all good. But no, I think it'd be really cool to see. And again, I'm right there with you though. I think that the U.S. Mint could really do a boon for themselves.
They
for a
could.
nation.
Absolutely.
They could spark a numismatic revolution, so to speak, kind of like what happened with the 50 state quarter series, where everybody wanted to collect, everybody wanted to have the new designs, everybody wanted to do it. Everybody and their brother was collecting the 50 state quarters.
Yeah.
It reignited numismatics. Now, unfortunately, their quality of design didn't stay up to what everybody wanted, and it took so long to release some of them that people after a while just got tired of it.
Yeah.
But where this is the 1 year of circulating coinage, I think the Mint needs to hit a home run.
They do need to hit a home run. You know what
They need to
would be a great idea for them is have a certain amount minted at West Point. Same designs and everything, but let's put that W back on there for a certain amount of the coins and get that fever going for coin roll hunting again.
See, again, these are things where they need to really take the ear of the standard numismatic collector, the down to earth Joe, not the major coin shops, not the big distributors. They're going to turn whatever they get. They're going to turn it over.
We're their bread and butter.
I like the fact that they're reaching out. Hey, Spray Can, thanks for coming in. But they really need to get the ear. And this is why I'm telling you guys, please, when you're filling out the survey, do so with a little bit of thought, right? If you have something specific in mind and you want to see something, sketch it out for them and tell them, it's like, look, you got these designs. These are the pairings that I would like to see. So like, Paula, have you done the survey yet?
I have.
Okay. Did you state that what you would really like to see is something about the Constitution on the front and then on the reverse, the
Declaration of Independence? Yep.
Oh,
I
see,
did.
and this is exactly the kind of stuff that we need to do.
Liberty on the front, classic liberty on the front, on the obverse, and something about the Declaration of Independence on the reverse. That's just, and I went into specifics.
Don, no problem. I'd be happy to come on up. We can carry this conversation over. Send people in your stream. So share this out and tell them to come watch this, watch some of the discussion, and then we'll carry it on. That way they'll kind of have an understanding of what the law was in the discussion. Paula has a lot of the keen insights. She's seen more about this than I have.
I'm just really excited about this. I've tried to keep up on it. Like I said, I haven't heard any changes in plans for all of the circulating coinage. So I'm not saying I'm right. I just have, and with that site being just updated a couple days ago, I really hope that they stick with that, because I think that would be super exciting for all of us. And I agree, me. If they want to wait, 13 years after, they can do something for the Constitution in whatever year that'll be. But
So you have a U.S. Mint. So I want to talk about the Azure Blue comment. You have the U.S. Mint being run by somebody who doesn't have a numismatic background. Director of the
but
Human
she
Resources.
does have interest in. She really is. I think she has the collectors. I think that she has their interests, from everybody I've heard who talked to her at the ANA show, and who have talked to her previously. They're pretty comfortable with her having the collector's interest in mind. So I don't know. And I'm not sure that's such a bad thing.
Well,
Somebody
I
not
like Me's
having
comment.
a numismatic background.
So Me's comment is kind of like spot on,
Framers.
right? 250 celebration is about, it's farmers, not framers, right? I know the construction guys do a lot of good, but farmers with pitchforks telling the most powerful army in the world, take a hike, right? Again, what was the premise of liberty, right? We were running away from tyranny. And we were trying to have a more independent self. And so when we talk about more independent self, we didn't, even back in those days, we didn't think just solely of self. We considered the needs, we considered the thoughts, the helps of others.
And
Not to
aren't
say
we
there
going
wasn't
backwards now? We're kind of going backwards now, aren't we, Frostbite?
We're not going the same direction.
No.
And so we have a really good opportunity here to remind people where we came from.
Yeah.
Now, this is why I'm very clear. Okay. Do what you want. Do whatever you're going to do, whatever you want, whatever combination you want, put it up there, right? Just think about this. I collect Canadian coins. I collect British coins. I collect New Zealand coins. I collect Australian coins. And I collect them because they're beautiful designs and they tell a story about the country. What story do you want our coinage to tell about us? And you need to think about that. Because right now, the Americas are running around with black eyes. People look at us. Our moral fabric is through the floor. We have issues. We can't agree to agree. I'm not even going to go into the political aspect of things. But as a nation, we're struggling and we're opened ourselves up for a lot of criticism and ridicule. We have the opportunity here to make a statement once again about why we're here. Who are we? And to remind the general populace of where we came from. What are the stories? Get those kids asking the question, what happened with this coin? How did this come about? Tell me about this. Because if you've looked at history, and Paul, I don't know if you've gone back through and looked at some of the history books your grandkids have, but you look at the history books when we were in and you look at them now, the Alamo is only like 2 pages in Texas history.
My grandkids, I don't think any of my grandkids, honestly, have ever brought a school book home.
It's crazy.
Yeah. They have homework, but I don't remember ever seeing them bring a school book home.
We have, my daughter has a tablet and she goes to public school. It's a little bit different, but she has a tablet and she'll get 1 book or 2 books because they read. She's in honors reading, honors English.
Nice.
And so she reads books all the time. So she's always bringing novels and stuff home. But we looked at their history and I was going through and I was like, well, tell me about this. And she's like, well, I've done a lot of research on this, Dad. And she started going through this stuff. And I was like, oh, wow, you really got this. And the thing from the teacher was like, well, where did you get that information? It's not in our curriculum. And she's like, well, I researched it. Like, nice. You guys show us this much. There's a whole lot of history.
That's
And the
awesome.
teacher was like, "Well, I didn't need you to go that in deep because we don't talk about that other stuff. That's not really important here." And I was like, "How in the heck? You're talking about Texas. You're talking about the Alamo. It's 2 pages in a chapter."
Hmm.
Um, do
Well,
people understand the
Benny,
atrocities that happen here? I mean, it's crazy.
it scares me when I see things like that young boy who had that "Don't tread on me" symbol on his backpack and got called in, and his mom got called in, and the teacher said he can't have that because it represents slavery, and that it had nothing to do with that. And so are they teaching that stuff? It's scary. It really is. Yeah, the Gadsden flag, it's scary when you see that kind of stuff. You know, it
Yeah,
really is.
there's stuff that it's not scary, it makes me angry.
It makes me angry too. It
Makes
it
me angry.
does.
Because it's like here's now I'm
But
gonna tell you a little bit.
they stood up to that teacher, and that was awesome. That
Yep.
I liked to see. But
I'll tell you a little bit about where I stand in the geopolitical realm of things. I believe what I believe. Period. End of story.
right. And
You believe what you
that's
believe.
perfect. That's
Period. End of
perfect.
story. No problem. But here's where I'm going to draw the line. I do not have to believe what you believe. And you
Mm-mm.
cannot force me to believe what you believe. Don't tell me that I have to believe in something. Don't
Right.
tell me that I have to honor something because my moral aptitude is different than yours. I believe in a different set of goals.
But
I
you
served our
can still be
military. I fought
friends
and
with the
bled for our
people that
nation.
disagree with you, right? Still be
You can
friends.
agree to disagree. And
Exactly.
I have friends. Now I have done things in my employment supporting structures and basis and foundation and medical processes for a subsection of people, and I don't believe with the lifestyle. But
Right.
I believe in good, solid medical care, and I believe that they should be taken care of, and I believe that they have every right to good, solid health care and medical coverage, and that those things should be taken care of. Now, do I have to believe in what they do? No. Do I have to accept what they do? No. I just have to provide them the best possible medical care that I can,
Mhm.
or give them the opportunity to get that. That's my requirement. That's my job. What I can't stand, what I can't stand is that we have forgotten how to agree to disagree. I cannot stand the fact that you look at me and say, "You're wrong." Well, tell me why. Just because.
Yes.
Just because what? Why am I wrong? Enlighten me. Now, Paula has gone, "Frosty, you're wrong." Oh, where am I wrong? Well, you said this, it's correct, but technically it's this because it's this. Oh, okay. So if I say it this way, even though it's right, it's not because I don't understand this. Help me understand this. Okay, that's what this is. That's what that looks like. And incuse double dice, right? That
Hmm.
whole and incuse makes it smaller, whereas a normal high relief would make it bigger, right? It
Hmm.
adds to it. The
Hmm.
other one makes it look like it's taking it away. When I understood that, it was like, oh, I was saying the right stuff. I was just
Yeah.
saying it incorrectly. And I I'm a better numismatic soul for it. I'm giving better information for it. So if you can tell me why I'm wrong on certain things, if you can give me a good pointed argument, I may not accept your theory. I may not accept whatever, but I will gladly have the discussion. But don't tell me you're wrong, you're an idiot, you're a fool, you're a bigot, you're just because you don't like the way I think.
Hmm.
I don't need that. And if that's how you want to be, fair winds and following seas, my friend.
Pasta, pasta.
Godspeed. You be well. Take care. because I was raised that I respect the uniform, I respect the position, but the
Mhm.
man or woman in it has got to earn it.
Yeah.
And if you burn that bridge, I will respect your position. I will respect your authority, but I don't have to respect the person. You have to earn that with me. And so I wish people would just be okay getting along, right? Um, we've missed that, and it's sad. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's a lot of people in this chat that we joke about stuff and we laugh about stuff, and there are people that, yeah, Rockzilla, that's exactly where I was going with this. There are people in here that I absolutely do not agree with. The way they see things, the way they look, I absolutely do not agree with them. But you know what? We get along just fine. You know
Yeah,
why?
you each know the other's boundaries and you just don't cross them.
Because we talk,
Yeah.
we
But
chat.
there are people who are firm in their political beliefs, firm in their religious beliefs, and nothing you say will change that. And so when I know people like that, we just don't get into those discussions. We just don't. But we're still friends and we talk about other things and we find common ground in other things. I think most people can find common ground with others in something.
So now here's one that's absolute fact. Me likes to push buttons. And now
Kind of do too.
I don't mind that if I know that's what you're doing. Right? Is Kellen still in here?
I have family members, old Bell, that we just don't talk about politics. We just don't because we
Yeah,
just
there's
know we're not going to agree and it's going to cause problems. So why even just avoid it?
so
Sometimes you
Paula,
got to
I
just avoid it.
I worked on uh years ago when the COVID first started. Oh, Kellen is not here. I'm going to get back to you in just a second, dude,
Mhm.
because he said something a while ago, and I was like, dude, you got to explain to me why the hell you do this. And he's like, I'm just joking with you, man. I don't melt everything. It's just a way of getting a rise out of people. And when I understood that, I kind of understood his comedic sense, and kind of told me a little bit about who he was. So if you have differences with people you don't understand, ask. Have a quick discussion. It's amazing what you'll learn.
Yeah.
But anyway, when COVID first came out, I worked for the Air Force for 10 years, and we were working some processes, and I got put on a task force to help identify things. And some of it I understood, some of it I agreed with, some of it I didn't understand. I could understand the premise of certain things, but I didn't understand the entire thing. My mom and I had a blanket agreement. The word COVID would not be discussed in casual conversation between us.
Perfect.
And it's not that either one of us was wrong. We have very strong viewpoints on both ends. Coming from medical, military side,
Hmm. Hmm.
I had to be in a certain environment, in a certain realm, supporting what the requirements were, whether I believed it or not.
Right.
It was my job, it was my role. And she's like, you need to tell them no. I'm like, not how it works. It's
Okay.
just, yeah, that's not how it works. You can't do that. And so sometimes we do things. Now, there are people who left. They just said, absolutely, this goes against everything I believe in, and no, I'm not going to do this. And that is your right. But
Right.
here's where I stand. I have zero issue working with somebody. Now, it may not happen immediately, and there may be a learning curve, and there may be disagreements, and I may be like, I can't talk to you until we resolve our differences on this. But I will continue to work to resolve those differences, right? And I think that when you look at when you look at me, when you look at Kellen, the YouTube me, and you look at Kellen and you see they like to push buttons.
Mm-hmm.
They like to. But if you see them in any stream, you know that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, it's not in a mean spirit though, you know?
No, but it's a rise. It's to get
Yeah.
conversation going. It's to get that little banter, right? It's like me and my, right? He's like, "Hey, my, how are you? Good, me, how are you?" And people are like, "Who's my?" Me. My's me? No, I'm my. Me's me.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell are you talking about? Those are the kind of the play on words and the little banter things that kind of happen, right? Me likes to teach people lessons by donating stuff to Ida in their name or by doing a giveaway. That's how he teaches people lessons. Um, and so multiple Morgans, right? There's Carolyn razzing people. It drives people nuts. It drove me nuts for a little while until I understood. The one thing that I like about a majority of this community, and I'm going to specify the majority of this community, is that for the most part, we can agree to disagree and we can agree to get along.
Right.
And there's going to be little disturbances. There are aspects of this community, and you and I have talked about this in depth, Paula,
Yes.
that are a cancer to numismatics.
Yes.
And there's a lot, the most tension, the most back and forth, the backstabbing, the viciousness, the vileness happens in that particular sector.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because it's about this.
Exactly.
It's not about growing the hobby. It's not about doing that kind of stuff. You'll see things in certain environments because it's about profit. And when you look at numismatics, when you look at the pouring realm, when you look at the metal detecting, you put all these things together, and it's the full community of people. The full community. We
Yeah.
get along. For the most part, we get along. And we have conversations, we have chat, but you have to be okay with disagreeing with somebody and knowing that you might be wrong. And that's
I'm
okay.
wrong a lot. I am wrong a lot. And let me tell you, there is no greater way to learn than to be wrong. Because if you are smart about it, you won't make that same mistake a second time. So
I
you
am
make the mistake.
SMRT.
Huh?
I am SMRT. I'm smart.
Yeah. SMRT.
Well, and it's exactly right. How many times,
Be
by the
okay
way,
being
I
wrong.
still have to put that other video back up.
Uh-huh.
I should have ran it by you beforehand. Um, but how many times have you been like, so close, it's this and not this?
So close. So
Right?
close.
And it's like, man, I thought I had it. But the more I hear of these things, the more that you tell me I'm wrong. And you do so with tact and grace most of the time.
Sometimes.
Most of the time.
I'm
Most
not
of the
known
time.
for my tact.
Well, well, you're known for your thumbtacks, but
I'm known
that's
for
not my
my
kind of
like
tact.
in your face straightforwardness. I don't know how to
But
be any other
again, we
way. I'm
need
sorry.
those people in our lives, right? Now, whether you're religious or not, iron sharpens iron. It's a major passageway, right? So
Yes.
one man sharpens another, or so one woman sharpens another. Because you need, in order, if you have a knife, and I don't have a blade up there, we'll use scissors. In order to cut, these have to be sharp. And you can't sharpen scissors with a Q-tip. You can't sharpen scissors with a cotton ball. You can't sharpen it with a cloth. You need something like iron or steel. You need a sharpening stone, something that actually takes the roughness off and allows you to kind of revisit that surface, get rid of some of that slough, get rid of some of that old. And that's how relationships are. You need people in your lives, numismatic realm, personal life, family, work, whatever it might be. You need people in your life that can sharpen your wit, sharpen your tact, sharpen your moral and fiber beliefs. You need people who will call you and challenge you and say, hey, that's not right. Hey, that's not cool. And we do things sometimes because we think we're doing good, but what we do or what we say or how we say it can actually be like damaging to people.
Mhm.
And we need that person to come along who can say, I love you, but you're an idiot.
Well, and most of the time, it's not the person's. So, people giving information, right, about numismatics. Specifically, let's just stick with YouTube. There's Facebook is horrible, but that person has 99.999% of the time has heard it from somebody else. Who's heard it from somebody else? It's kind of like that phone game that you played, when you were a kid. You hear a little bit, you hear something, and then it passes down the line. By the time it gets to the end, it's something completely different. And so when you hear somebody giving you information, and I'm talking about me too, check your work, check me, research it yourself, because there's a lot of bad information out there. And it's probably not that person's fault. They've just gotten bad information from somebody else who's gotten bad information from somebody else.
Hmm.
And there's more bad information out there than good, unfortunately.
Well, but then there are those people that do disinformation just
Yeah.
because they like making fools of people.
Yes, there is that. There is that. I think I maybe I'm naive, but I think that's a minority of them.
Well, when you look at information, now information is power, knowledge is power.
Yes.
And when you look
Mhm.
to destabilize, and this is actually, my mom bought me Sing Sun's The Art of War. And if you haven't read that book, it's war strategy. It's about understanding your enemy and thought processes and doing stuff like that. And we see this in cyberspace. We see this in war. We see this in the greatest strategic minds. One of the things is that in order to destabilize something, you provide a lot of misinformation. So a lot of the stuff that you see, especially misinformation coming from foreign countries, two or three specifically, um, are purposefully designed to disrupt solid information.
Mhm.
I'm not going to get into media and politics and the fact that there's you know four major communication channels throughout the globe. Two of them are on one side, two of them are on the other. We won't talk about the specifics, but information is power. So misinformation can actually destabilize economic, social
Everything.
well-being, social trust. It can cause angst and dissatisfaction. It can cause dissension amongst people who would normally get along. Uh, if I say cleaning coins, right? How many of those videos are people who actually think they're doing a good thing? I'd say a majority of them know that cleaning coin is a bad thing.
Well, anybody who does a video on cleaning coins and says it's okay is not a coin collector. They are brand new and they don't know anything. So unsubscribe immediately, because that is a very common thing for people who just start into the hobby. And most of you have heard my personal story about putting all of my wheat cents in my dishwasher with a lemon pod, cleaning coins is a very common thing for brand new people starting out in the hobby. To
You know
think
my
that it's
first experience
okay.
with cleaning coins?
I'm sorry?
You know my first experience with cleaning coins?
What?
So my granddad, he had a few coins, and he gave me my first loop, and it wasn't really a loop. It was a two lensed magnifying glass,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "Hey, this is this night." It was a 1955 Lincoln set. I still have it, and it's slightly doubled all the way through. More machine doubling. It's not a real double die. It's more machine doubling all the way through. And he was like, "Well, you can't see it very well." And I was like, "Well, I'll take it to the coin shop and we'll have him look at it." He's like, "Okay." So I went downstairs, grabbed my stuff, and I came back and he had done the polish.
Oh, Heavenly Father.
And I got that and I was like, "Wow, that's really pretty." So we got it there and he comes back and he said, "Well, it is. It's definitely double on the coin." He said, "It would have been worth a little bit more if it hadn't been cleaned and polished and scrubbed." And
Mm.
I was like, "Oh, he just did that too." I told him I was bringing it here. He wanted to make sure it was all nice and shiny. I still have the coin, by the way,
Oh, I
but
still have my pink wheats too. It
yeah,
turned all of my wheat cents pink.
yeah,
Probably
I
would have
got a
been it
really
probably wouldn't have been so bad had I not put that lemon dishwasher um, pod in there. It turned all of my wheat cents pink. Yeah, pretty bad. Just remember the first thing that gets cleaned off of a coin when you clean them is any numismatic value. If you just want them pretty and shiny and worthless, then
well.
go
And the
ahead.
last couple of days, I've been posting little videos making fun
I
of
know,
people
I
doing
saw
this.
that.
And the one, and I have to give this dude credit. Okay, as far as a funny video, the dude who played Vector
Hmm.
in Despicable Me, he's got a really cool gamut going on. I watched a few of his videos. I'm like, very creative. He does all sorts of weird, wacky stuff that is intended to be evil. You know what I mean? Um, but looking at the pretense, he was making fun of the person who was actually cleaning the coins.
Hmm.
Because at the very end, he had the Kiko Man soy sauce. It's like, oh,
Oh gosh.
right, and that's why the very last line in
You know,
that
there's
short
a there
is,
is a one there is at least one I know of, but there is a YouTube channel that has only videos of cleaning different coins.
they tape it,
Yes.
scrub it.
Yes.
Yeah, drives me freaking nuts.
Yeah.
Makes me cringe every time I see it. They
Hmm.
got
That
something
person
like,
is not a coin collector.
no, and they have like 23 million views on videos.
Iconic coins, is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous.
It's horrendous, but whatever.
Yep. And they get millions and millions of views.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the other ones that I'm doing, well, you already know this and what channel it is, but debunking some of the videos.
Yeah. Good.
That's not what that is, right? It's like the the one guy who did the it was a double die and he says it was a mule error worth
Mm-hmm.
$100,000. And it's like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
wow,
Yeah.
wow. I need to go back and look at my definition of what a mule error is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I mean, and you know, there, there's a certain YouTube influencer out there, not Blue Ridge Silverhand, that we had laughed about it in our little private chat. Had a video up talking to a coin dealer, and this coin dealer was telling this channel who uses a lot of clickbait that clickbait is horrible. But this dealer also told this YouTuber that you can't find anything worth anything in pocket change anymore. Now, Diggin' Dave, if you go watch Diggin' Dave's little video from his little short he did yesterday, I believe. He kind of did a little parody on that. It's hysterical. But I thought that was pretty funny. Now
I haven't seen that. I'll
I've
have to
said
go
it
check that
before.
out.
I've said it before publicly. I have no problem with clickbait because it gets people to watch the videos, but make sure that once they're watching the video, you're giving really good information. Every catchy titles and catchy thumbnails, YouTube and StreamYards, they talk about it all the time. It's important. People call that clickbait. But make sure that once they click on that video, they're coming away smarter than when they watched that video.
So Canadian Coin Hunters was joking with me the other day. He's like, I'm going to go clean my 1909 SVDB just because you told me not to.
Lord of mercy.
And I was like, go ahead, make mine worth more money.
Right? Or sell that one to me really, really cheap because I wouldn't mind having a problem 1909 SVDB. I'd be okay with that.
This is where the
$20
banter is, right? And I like the banter. It's a lot of fun. This is what keeps things engaging. Or like you said, right now, I'm going to go clean all my coins right now. To the community who does this, it's very important. But a lot of my videos actually target not just the new numismaticist, but
numismaticist.
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 Numismatist.
There you go.
I always say it wrong.
I know you do. It cracks me up now because I know you know how to say it right.
Numismaticist.
Numismaticist.
It sounds like a disease, actually, when I say it that way.
It does.
But it's one of those things where I like targeting stackers too and letting them know. It's like, you know what, you're talking about all this gold. Man, so watching a video by a very pronounced stacker. And it was like, well, in this coin, back in the 20s, this bill is worth this much and this gold coin is worth this much. It's like, well, hold on. If that coin was in MS66,
yes,
you just undercut $20,000 from what you told them that value is worth because you didn't take into account the numismatic value. Mm-hmm. Stackers know your numismatic value. It's important because you may sell a $2,000 gold coin because you need the cash, only to find out that you lost out on $10, $12, $15, $18,000.
Yeah, it's really
right.
important.
And that's one of the things that I want people, because stackers give really good information when they're talking about silver and gold. Mm-hmm. But when you're talking about numismatic value, it's really important to understand what you have. And so don't just take it for the fact that it's silver and it's worth $25 an ounce. Really look at the numismatic value, understand what it is, right? Know what to look for, know what a double die is, know what a mule is, know those kind of things, because if you ever define one, you really need to understand its value so that you don't lose money just trying to turn over some constitutional. It's amazing if you have a roll of constitutional, that $300 roll, if you find the right error or you find the right variety, is now $1,000.
And in this community, you have access to free information. And that's a really good thing. I was lucky when I first started out in the hobby that I got hooked up with the right people and got a good foundation off the bat. And you guys have, if you have a question, you've got access to people that can help you. And yep. Like Frostbite, if you send him an email and you ask him a question, if he doesn't know the answer, he knows someone who does. Same thing with us on the LiveCoin Q&A. If we don't know the answer, we're not going to make something up. We're going to tell you, we're not really sure about this, but we're going to go find out. Because we have access up the chain too.
Well, and that's
simple questions are okay.
But that's what's important about what I want to do, I'm going to take off my glasses for a minute because my eyeballs are hurting. That's what's important about what I want my channel to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to have fun. I want to laugh and I want to joke and I want to have the good discussions and I want to do that stuff. But I want people, I love it when somebody calls me or they send me an email or something and says, I found that. Right. Or like Brown Sugar sent me a message and said, I'm putting that 1909 one that you just did in my shorts because now I know what to look for some of my 1909s.
Mm-hmm.
Or, hey, I didn't realize that that class 7 double die, like really, there's only one, I guess.
Yeah, class 7, the elusive class
Right.
of double dies, the
So
most
they're so
controversial
close.
one too.
Right. So close. What is it about that? I never really understood that. I've seen that before, but what does that
Mm-hmm.
mean? Because that stems conversation. And from conversation is where you learn. Conversation where the interest. And once you start to have that conversation, if you become interested in it, then you share it and you ask questions and you ask questions. And then somebody who may not know reaches out to somebody who does. Now, multiple people are learning.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why when you look at a majority of the videos that I do, they're on stuff that I've recently learned.
Right.
I just found this out, right? Or somebody just sent me this coin, said, hey, do a video on this. So I do a day and a half's worth of research and I put a video out and say, hey, this is what I understand. This is what I've been able to find. There's still more information. If you have it, contact me. Let me know. I can follow up on it. Because I do not know a lot, but I have learned a lot. And
And
I
you have great researching ability because you have those tools now. You know where you can go to research and find, like, people will Google something and spruce crafts will come. The first thing, oh, spruce crafts. Please ignore anything you read from spruce crafts. It's garbage, but it's like the first thing that'll pop up when you search something about coins. And that's, but I want to address real quick Kevin Rose. He said, we're told it's free, but most people who say that either don't have a real interest to help or want something in return. Not too many are able to follow through with that. Kevin Rose, have you not ever heard of the live coin Q&A? What we
even
do
you know
is,
me too.
100% free. Every email we get is followed through on. Absolutely 100% free. We get tons and tons of email and questions. Check us out.
So
Check
here's
us
another
out.
thing. Copper Coins
Yep.
doesn't charge for their site. LincolnCents.com doesn't charge for their site. Wexler's
Oh,
Varieties doesn't charge for their site.
yeah.
Variety Vista doesn't charge for their site.
Well,
Um,
now those for attributions, there's a charge. We're a middleman for that kind of stuff. Because if you send us a coin and it's not what you think it is, we're going to save you money because you don't need to send it in to them.
hey,
If you have
Copper Coins. I wore your shirt yesterday, but I didn't see you in the
Copper
stream.
Owl, good morning.
Good to see you. Today I'm wearing the turd shirt.
We've had lots of people, lots of our viewers have new discoveries that have been attributed by Dr. Wiles, by Wexler when he was still doing it.
You had a really cool one about 3 weeks ago.
We have had lots. We have had
Well, I'm
lots.
talking like a major
Are you
find.
talking about the steel scent?
Yeah.
Amazing, right?
Major
That
find.
was that was like a 6-month process
Yeah.
on that coin. So we do follow through.
What's up, Chappie?
Um,
Yeah. So again, there are resources depending upon what you're looking at. Now there are a couple gaps in my knowledge as far as who the resources are. So if I'm looking specifically at cents, I've got contacts up the yin yang. If
right.
I'm looking at nickels, I got contacts up the yin yang. If I'm looking at old world 2 cent, 3 cent trickle Hold on. I about said that again.
You almost said it.
Trickle. I said
3
trickles
cent
again. I
nickel.
about did it myself. The trickle.
It's not a
And the
trickle.
chime,
I hate that term.
the 3 cent nickel. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Uh,
That's
but
okay.
I call it the trickle and the chime.
I know.
I can't believe that Aunt pointed that out on me, or Shannon pointed it out. I can't
Shannon
believe you
did.
said trickle
He
or
messaged
trickle.
us first. He's like, "Oh my god, he called it a trickle. It's not a
Yeah,
trickle. It's not a thrickle. It's a 3 cent
it's
nickel."
not a trickle. But I do that. I do that to myself all the time.
Anyway,
Um,
I digress. You forgot what you were saying.
well, no, it's just it's fun. So like if I'm looking at 3 cents, or if I'm looking at 2 cent pieces, or I'm looking at that, I know exactly who I'm going to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to Manus Coins.
Going
If
what?
I'm going to Manic Coins.
Mantic, Shay, live coin Q&A.
Live Coin Q&A. Right? But I mean, that's his specialty. That's his forte.
Well,
One of them.
kind of. Kind of. He does so 2 cents. He loves the 2 cent coins.
Mhm.
Half dollar, Kennedy half dollars are kind of his big thing.
And if you
But,
haven't done so, please smash that like. Hey, Cosmic Creations,
but
how you
yeah,
doing?
Shay's amazing. Shay has gotten further in brain than any of us.
Oh,
I can't get through
speaking of
brain.
further in brain,
Brain. Yeah, Walter Brain.
the
Yikes.
other eye surgery is going to happen on the 26th, I believe.
Yes, I want to
So
have
as
that
soon as
done
that is
so
finished,
bad.
I'll go back and resume the discussion that we all had.
Was that weird? Was the surgery weird? I got a thing about my eyes, man.
So we only got a couple minutes, and we gotta bounce
Okay.
over to a coin crew. I talked to my ophthalmologist about this when it happened. So when they did the surgery, I wasn't totally asleep. I
Oh, they
was
give you drugs?
aware enough. Well, they give you something to kind of make you loosey goosey and kind of so you
Oh,
won't
nice.
and scream
That
and
makes
stuff.
me feel better.
But they don't give you general anesthesia, so you're awake. But I was awake enough that I was actually seeing everything that was going on.
Oh, I don't like that.
So, and I was sat down and explained to him the patterns that I was seeing, and when the rods and cones would fire, and when I could see the burst of light, and I could see the distribution of rods and cones in my eye. Like I could tell where they stopped and where color sensing was located at the highest ridge,
I'm
because
sorry I asked.
there was a ring. It was just really cool stuff. And he was like,
Cool.
yeah, he was like, really? I'm like, yeah. And I said, this is what it looks like. And he's showing me books. And I'm like, that's exactly what I was seeing. And he's like, these are books that ophthalmologists read and look at, based off of like reverse imaging and understanding the concept of the eye. To have somebody actually tell me that this is what they
David.
saw without being an ophthalmology student or being an optometry student or something, it's really, really cool. So for me, yeah, I loved it. It was cool.
Oh, you are
Um,
special.
Say again?
You are special. I think
I
you
I
had me at
like
drugs. You lost me at cones.
I like learning. I enjoy learning new things, and I enjoy sharing information with people. Um, but what he's going to do on the left eye is he's going to position me a little bit different. And he told me he's going to try and set it up because they have to put this thing over so that you don't get any of the juices or the wash into your other eye. So reduces infection and all that other stuff. So they have this shield you have to do. But he's going to try and work it to where I can kind of see a monitor, and he'll see if I can focus on one eye. Probably won't be able to do it. He says if it doesn't, if I move my eyes too much, then he'll have to move it and take it away.
Oh,
But he's going to try and finagle it to where I can actually see what's going on while he's doing it. So I'll actually have this kind of vision. Now he'll have me to where I'm kind of not mobile, so I can't move around and shift my head and stuff. But yeah, it was cool.
oh
I'm
my
looking forward to it
gosh.
though. I'm so I'm so tired of looking through 50 layers of saran wrap.
I know, but come on. I don't know. I was convinced, like I said, I was convinced at drugs. I'm like, okay, I can do that. No, I don't know. Yeah, right. Live stream it. That would be awesome. I could watch it all day long, but no,
Yeah, unfortunately, due to legalities, they won't
I
allow
know.
they won't allow you to do that. Because I asked him if I could record it, and he was like, "No."
Well, this has been fun. So much fun. It's always great talking to you and seeing everybody in chat. Don, Department of Numismatics, if you want. What time is he going on tonight?
It's going to be like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock your time.
Okay, my grandson's football game's at 11. So, yeah, I gave him my email. So, if you want to shoot me at the link or whatever, I probably can come up. But thanks for
Okay.
having me up. Super fun. Happy Sunday, you all. And don't forget what tomorrow is. Super important day. Yeah. Okay. Bye, guys.
All right. Take care. All right, everybody. Well, if I can have one of my magnificent mods throw in the link for Coin Crew, we're going to go ahead and go over there. I'm going to wrap that up. This has been a really fun discussion. Again, if you haven't already done so, please smash the like. If you're new to the channel and you're coming in, this is the first time you're here, consider subscribing. It's free. It helps the channel. You'll get more information as I put out more shorts and more videos. Hopefully, I can give you some information. One, either that you didn't know, or two, that helps you become a better numismatist. So take care of everybody. I hope you have a wonderful day. And again, remember tomorrow. I'll put that link in. Let me see. That didn't work. Hold on. It's not working. Where are we? Coin Crew. Come on, we start in 4 minutes. Give me a link. Sheesh, 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 sheesh. Oh, okay. All right, we got that. Let's see. Somebody probably already put it in, right? Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Passion. I appreciate it. So here's that link. Once again, appreciate you doing that. Appreciate you coming in. Thanks, Roxilla. I appreciate that. I really do. Again, on your way out, Copper Owl Coins is on at 2 p.m. Central. On your way, if you haven't already done so, smash that like button. Go check out Coin Crew. Please let them know it's a frosty raid. Go grab yourself a cup of coffee. Go use the facilities and buckle yourself in for some good auction items. Take care, everybody. I appreciate you. Love you. We'll talk to you later. Be well, be blessed.